now.
Right.
All right.
What's going on, guys?
Not
Same old,
too
same
much.
old.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Same here as well. Trying
All
to
right,
think
the
what-
meeting is done.
That's it. All right. Nobody's doing anything. We're all.
It was fun. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what happened this week. My truck broke, my AC broke. My kids have all the stuff going on this week for school. Second last week of school. I haven't slept. They're trying to convince us that we agreed to a whole bunch more stuff than we did for work. Yeah.
Sounds like you're living a nice, responsible life with a lot of things going on.
I'm not stressed out. I'm not stressed out.
Good. Glad you're handling it well.
Honestly, I've mostly been just laughing about it and not sleeping. So
I don't
I
know.
did
what's-
wind up getting a new truck. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me.
All right.
I like the old trucks. So yeah, it's a 1994 Ford F-150 or F-250. So gets terrible gas mileage and I love driving it. So
What's going well other than that?
what could go better than getting a new truck, dude?
I like it.
The AC is not quite fixed, but yeah.
Any sponsorships coming through?
So did I talk about the sponsorships that I have I have to get terms to DigitalOcean and then they're on board.
Oh, cool.
I guess they don't get budget approval until I send them terms, which is essentially you pay and then you get this. And I was like, I usually don't send terms, and they're like, well, they won't let us go through with it until and it's basically that. So I'm like, oh, I can do that.
You should create some packages, sponsorship packages, like packages which would include not only podcast, but
I'm working on that.
potentially a website, blog post or something about them if they want, or something on the side panel ad for them, plus an email blast, right?
Yeah.
Plus an interview with one of their owners or their founders or product manager about a specific topic.
That's basically what I sold them, actually. So yeah.
Well, you should create that as a standard package offering all the time and sell that rather than sell podcast only. Kind of like what I was telling Joe about as well in the, in our mastermind, like that's what he's doing now.
Yeah.
And standardizing that is important, like having different levels, gold, silver, platinum. So that way people can.
Yep. Yeah, that's where I want to get to. I mean, the ultimate goal is to just become kind of how do I put it? I want to become the go-to media outlet for developers. So, and that goes beyond podcasts. So, video, email newsletters. If people want to get information about programming, they come to my directory and they look, right, is kind of where I want to end up. And then they may not wind up on one of my podcasts or on a blog post on one of my programming properties, but they came through me to get it, right? And then, be the person that's putting out a good chunk of the media too, is where I kind of envision this going. But in the meantime, that kind of an offering is effectively what I wind up talking them into most of the time because it makes the most sense.
Are you limiting it? Like what's the length of the contract usually? 3 months, 6 months?
It depends. So it's either every week for 8 weeks, or it's every other week for 16 weeks.
Okay.
So it's 8 episodes. It's just every other week or every week. And then, yeah, they get that interview somewhere in the middle of it. They get ads on the website.
Have you tried putting people into like contracts where it's like monthly recurring?
I've tried that. I've got one sponsor right now that's doing that. And it's more of kind of a handshake deal. So either of us could cancel it at any time. But they just prepay the month and then we run the ads. So it's...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But like if you just change the offer, like you've provided 2 offerings. One is like 8 weeks, monthly, like every week you offer blah, blah, blah. So 8 weeks is, let's say, $8,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could say $3,000 a month for as long as you choose to stay
Right.
with us. So because it's incentivized, they potentially there's double incentive. First, they don't sign up, like they don't have to worry about you like putting them on a contract and I have to spend 8,000 or blah, blah, blah.
Right.
On the other hand is like you put 3,000 monthly and now it's a monthly contract, which doesn't get scrutinized as easily as a one-time deal does. And every time you have to get approval on a one-time deal, you're putting yourself through a lot of trouble compared to just putting it on an auto pay.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's what I'm running into with Sentry, is that it's a bigger invoice. And so we're going through the budget approval process.
So why not just incentivize to put that as a recurring payment so you never have to do that again?
Right. It's just got an ongoing approval.
Yeah.
Or a discounted rates.
Yeah. Huh.
So once on a recurring payment, people are not going to question it as aggressively.
That's true. I can go back to them and see what they think.
And you should offer that as something to everyone so that you're always, putting people on recurring rather than limited time contracts.
Yeah. And then every 3rd month, we have one of their founders or executives on to talk about what.
Yeah, you can. I would sweeten the monthly parts more than try to get them on an 8-week thing. I would sweeten the monthly parts. When you stay for 3 months, you get this. When you stay for 6 months, you get this. When you stay for 12 months, you get this, and so on and so forth. So they feel
that's what I'm saying is you stick around for 3 months, you get the interview. And for every 3 months you stick around, you get the interview. You know, every 6 months you stick around, you get the email campaign.
Yeah, stuff like that. That whatever they kind of you think your sponsors want best.
That makes sense.
Because you need to get off the constant sales treadmill.
Yeah, I mean, I still want to go do the boot camp sales thing that John pitched a couple of weeks ago, but work kind of took over my life, and so I don't think I'm going to be able to do that until next week or the week after.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But either way, it is nice having that recurring money that I can more or less count on, right? Yeah. Come in every month from that one sponsor.
And as the sponsors roll in and roll out, it's not such a big deal because you will lose sponsors, but then you have to go get another one. But it's like recurring is so much easier on your system than one-off is in that.
Yeah, because I know what I have to replace.
I will take $2,000 recurring over $3,000 one time every freaking day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because the likelihood of that, once they use it and they like it, they're just going to keep coming back.
Well, the other thing is let's say that I get $20,000 over 5 months versus, that's a one time over, say, 18,000 over the same 5 months, but it's recurring coming in. And I know it'll continue to recur until they cancel.
I would take 15,000 in that case.
Right. But the thing is that The difference is that, I should have some notice and I know when they're going to cancel. Whereas with the other one, I have to go do all this legwork, and then they may or may not actually come back and tell me, whether or not they're going to renew and blah, 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 blah. And it's this whole sales cycle, and I have to play this game, and, oh, well, we actually missed the window on the budgeting and blah, 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 and it's another big sales cycle instead of just, okay, yeah, I know I have to go plug it in on the next one.
Yeah. The sales effort is going to be the same no matter what you do on the front end, but by sweetening the recurring part, you might as well get as many recurring clients as you can and make your sales total effort much lower over the longer term, and get more bang for your sales efforts. Because you don't like sales. You don't like getting in front of the sponsors trying to sell the damn thing. That's not your bread and butter. It's not your fun stuff.
That part I don't mind. Like getting in front of them, I don't mind. It's all the extra work and the follow-up and the...
Which is all part of the sales process, you're right.
Yeah.
That shit is...
Yeah, it's the upfront part of it that I don't like. Once I get them on the phone, I'm good. I kind of like talking to them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
What about you? How's your new project going, Manny?
It's going good, man. It's going good. I'm getting inquiries from like people who have teams, who want to sign up teams, like teams of 5, 10, 20 people. So that's really exciting. I also have someone, like I have an Intuit employee who's a part of the Focus Blocks right now. And she talked to her manager, and the manager is super excited. The manager's like, you think you could run this by yourself inside? And she's like, no, there's no, like, what's the use of me doing it if this is available 24/7 externally? Right. I'm just like, all right, yeah, I think do it for a month and let's see, maybe we can just hire them. And so possibly like getting some big corporate clients would be pretty awesome.
That would be really good. That's damn. Yeah. I like this business model. It's so simple and it's so marketable because it's so straightforward. It's an obvious win for, and you've got that corporate potential. I mean, if you could scale this up tremendously if you can get big corporate contracts. So
yeah. And the interesting thing is the virality that we're seeing now. Like everyone wants to be an affiliate. Like all my users, they want to be affiliates because they can easily see themselves selling it to a friend compared to selling a book summary package to a friend. The friend's like, why don't you just give it to me, a book summary package, right?
Right.
While here it's like, oh yeah, you need it, man. It's changed my life. Yeah, you will really improve your life as a result of it. So people are like all signing up to be affiliates and sending friends. So that's really fun.
Yeah, it's always better to sell a service than a product.
You mean,
but Manny, why are you starting another business? You need to focus on one thing. One thing.
I agree.
You're starting a completely separate business. Do you understand? You're splitting your focus.
I am pulling a John here, and I realize that I am putting myself in a lot of misery right now by doing that. But this is a point where it is entirely possible that the transition is so big that 2000 books totally becomes obsolete.
It becomes simple programmer.
It is possible, not that I'm like going down the route right now, but if we can continue to scale this properly and get corporate, then it becomes much more. The value proposition is very straightforward and very powerful. So it's still like, it's better sold like in person when I'm talking to someone compared to through a sales page right now. So I'm still trying to figure out what's the perfect way to sell on a sales page. It seems like people are not getting the point that easily. While when I talk about it, then people are like, yeah, sign me up. basically any knowledge worker I can explain this to, I will have an 80% chance of them saying, yep, sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I like this. It's so much better. I mean, this is a clear win here. And the thing about it is it's an intrinsically valuable company. It's a sellable company. You can't really sell. I mean, you could sell 2,000 books, but you can't really get the value out of it because it still relies on you. Whereas this is a operable business that does not rely on you in any way.
Yeah, so. I'm already like, I don't do any, basically I'm already out of the operations. We're running focus blocks right now, 12 hours a day, nonstop from 2 a.m. Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific every day. And I barely do anything with that operation side of thing right now. I'll jump in as a focus guide every once in a while to run the focus blocks, but most of the times I have a team basically running that show across the board. And pretty soon we'll have 24/7 coverage. And that'll be fun. Basically, my ambition is that nobody should be alone working, right?
Yeah. How do I join it? How do I jump in on one of these to try it out?
Do you want me to give you a free membership?
Yeah. I want to
try
it out.
Whoa. I want a refund.
He just wanted to try it out, Chuck.
I'll pay for it. I don't care. I want to try it out. So
no, I'm offended now.
Just go to focus. No, John's paying for it. Focusblocks.io.
Okay.
No, Manny's gonna pay for it.
Manny's gonna pay. No, John's paying for it. But John, you know what? I was thinking about this. An amazing promotion would be you saying, "Hey, come work with me."
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Yeah.
Right.
I like that. Yeah.
And you're like, I'll be co-working in this focus block next week at this time. You want to come join me and do some work?
Yeah.
Boom. We'll get so many people signing up just because of that from Bulldog Mindset or from your YouTube. I think this is better sold on YouTube than it will be sold on just a simple email, because on YouTube we get to talk about it, especially after you've experienced it and after you've used it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to get on John's focus block. I'm going to be like, "Hey, John." And then the guy's going to mute me.
No, you can't. You can't even do it, because as soon as the work starts, everyone's muted and all chat is off. You can only chat to the host. You can't chat anyone else. So you can do whatever you want, but basically you can.
No, I can't. You turned it all off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can do whatever you want, but you can't really disturb any participants because everyone is doing their work, their best work, their focused work. So that's the whole point. What do you think of the sales page, John?
It looks good. I mean, I didn't go through a lot of it because I'm just trying to sign up here, but I'm trying to figure out annual.
I can leave my camera on. Get John to take his shirt off.
Let me see. All right. Yeah, I could definitely sell it on the come work with me.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be like people would freaking do it all day long from around the world just to be around John.
I like your upsell. Get 40 productivity book summaries for $37. That's a good upsell you got there. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's my coupon code?
Here. Do I have a coupon code anymore?
No, it's all right. It's all right. I got it. All right, here we go. I just purchased focus blocks.
Yes. I love it. Awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you for the support.
I should have used my affiliate link.
You people who didn't think that John caved to peer pressure, you were wrong. That? I said, you people who didn't think John caved to peer pressure, you were wrong.
Dude, that is awesome. You know, Diego is on it too.
Who?
Diego.
Oh, my guy.
Yeah, he messaged me. He's like, dude, I really want this. This is amazing. Yeah. I would love to have more Taiwan times, but nonetheless, this is freaking awesome. This is super cool. So he joined last week right after he listened to my podcast, to listen to the episode with Chuck. He joined right away once I explained it.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I'm going to have to definitely try this out, and then we'll have to do promotion. I mean, are you fully launched with this
Yep.
now?
It's live 12 hours a day right now. We're going to 15 hours a day soon.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's
every hour of
promote.
that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Let's promote it on Simple Programmer.
Yeah. Let's
No
do it.
reason to not. Let's see.
Yeah.
What is Teachable? The only problem with Teachable is with LastPass, the passwords. It's
so
like
messy. The My Teachable shit.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I hate
such a mess because I don't know how to put in a
everyone
LastPass password. They need to really fix that.
Well, I'll just tell everybody all the courses that I've signed up for on Teachable because they all have the same password now.
I know. Well, Teachable doesn't lose anything from that. Only the course creators do.
Oh, see, it says email is already in use. Please sign into your account.
Oh my God.
This is annoying. Let me see. Okay. So now I don't even know which one.
You know, now that I think about it, when I sign into my Teachable account to like manage my course, it also tells me what courses I've purchased on there.
Mm.
It says you're also a member of these other schools.
I guess if it gives
use
you
my Teachable.
Yeah, okay. Let's see if this works. All right, I agree. Okay, so I'm signed in and I have, okay, I see. I've got focus blocks and then calendar. Pick a focus block. Oh, cool. Oh, so you're using Calendly integration here.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I pick one. Oh, I see. And then I select a date and time.
Yep.
And then you'll send me an email with a link to join the live stream?
It'll show up in your calendar, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me try this. Well, shoot, I don't know if I'm gonna do it today because I gotta go to the gym after this, but I'll have to remember to try it for like Monday.
Yeah, just put it like whatever your work hours are, put that. Just reserve that for a couple of hours and see,
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my plan is starting next Monday. If I don't have somebody schedule a call in there, is I'm just going to just put it on my lunch break and just start doing marketing stuff in there.
Now, are you reminding people to use focus blocks? Like, are you going to send emails, reminders?
More or less every day. Well, you mean to go to do your focus block?
Or to sign up for a focus block?
I do every day. There's like a 12 email sequence for every customer who signs up.
Good. Okay.
We're getting
like
60-70% open rate on our customers right now throughout the sequence because people are showing up.
This is good. Yeah, because what I just encounter now is like, well, I don't want to sign up now because I don't know what time, but I don't want to forget to sign up in the future. But if you're sending me emails, then that's good because then I know that I'm not gonna forget to sign up. So
how much lead time do I have? Can I like sign up like 2 minutes before and then just get in?
Yeah, but I recommend, like, the way I think about it is the more structured you become, the more structure you create with your time, the easier it gets to get in and out of focus blocks and do your work and be happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what I'm looking at with this is like in the morning at so once I don't have carpool with my kids anymore, like I can get up at, I've been getting up at like 4:30 in the morning going running. And then, then we have family time, get ready for school stuff at like 6. And then I have to drive the kids to school at 7. I'm back here at 8. And, but I allow people to schedule calls with me at 8. And so if that time's not taken, I can do a focus block then, and then I can get to work with my full-time job. And so I might just schedule one and jump on. But once school's out after next week, right, then I can just schedule a focus block at 6 or 7, depending on how we structure our mornings for the summer.
Yeah.
So at that point, then I can just put it on my calendar But what I'd probably wind up doing is the first thing I do in that focus block is schedule the other ones during the day if there's nothing else scheduled. But also during my lunch break, I let people schedule into there. So
yeah, I mean, you could block out your lunch break and stop letting people get into your time.
Yeah, but
because it's okay to let people in your time, but if you let people in your time, they will always take your time. So you can't really escape that gravity of people getting in on your time.
But I want the people I let into that time are the sales calls for the accelerator and for sponsorships, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else is just like, no, right?
Yeah.
Because if my mom calls, she's just going to call when she's going to call. And if I'm at my full-time job, it's just like, guys, I'm muting you, and I pick up my phone. So, so for the rest of it, so I want to leave it open, but if they haven't picked it up by that morning, if somebody hasn't scheduled that time, then I'm just going to block it. And so I can assume that it's taken one way or the other.
Any slot you can find, man, that you can stay consistent with, that's where the magic of like consistency and rituals just start to become so much more effective. There's this book. Have you guys read It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work by Jason Fried? Basecamp. Huh? You have? No?
No.
So he talks about the idea, like one of the biggest reasons why I feel like focus blocks is so important is, he says, time and attention are best spent in large bills. Right? And most of us, we just fracture our attention space and our time with so many tasks back and forth. Task A, email, social media. Task B, email, chat. Task C, IM. Task D, Slack. And that's like 30. You can spend 3 hours doing that, but all of that fractured time is not even, you won't even produce as much work as you do if you just spend 60 minutes working on one task.
Yeah.
Right. So time and attention are best spent in large bills. That's a really, really pretty powerful thing to understand and to implement in life. It's easy to understand, but hard to implement.
Yeah.
Because then it's so easy to just go check emails of Facebook and all that stuff. And that's why I feel like what we're doing, what's like focus blocks, is basically helping people regain the power of that hour that they work.
Right.
Say, okay, single-mindedly, I'm going to do this shit no matter what. And they get more done in 1 hour than most people do in 3 hours doing all of this crazy shit. Work, email, chat, work, IM, Slack, work, task A, work, email, task B. And you're all over the place, and it's so hard to get shit done in massive quantity. It's always like dribs and drabs of time.
Yeah, but this is what I've got, right? And so if I can do 6, 7, and 8 o'clock, and that 8 o'clock hour could be a sales call or could be prospecting, right? Or marketing, and I just know that, then I can do focus blocks like that. And it can be part of my ritual, just knowing that it's either going to be a sales call or it's going to be a focus block.
That's it, man.
I'm okay with that.
If you started spending 3 hours a day on 3 focus blocks a day on your marketing, your business will go crazy in 2 months.
Yeah, and that's the whole point.
Seriously, 3 focus blocks on marketing every day for freaking 2 months, your business will go bananas.
Well, and that's the plan, right?
Yeah.
As I just start filling that up. And the rest of the plan is, and I think we talked about this last week, is then I'm going to be hiring all the who's for my business. You know, it may take me a little longer to get out of this full-time job doing it that way. But then I can stay in my zone of genius.
Yeah.
And it can kind of run itself, and I can expand to these other areas that it makes sense to expand to and still remain in my zone of genius instead of all the other stuff that I'm trying to chase.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so powerful getting that time for yourself, for the strategic work, whatever it might be.
Yep.
for the business.
Well,
It's game changing forever.
Well, the other thing is you talked about being done with work by 2:00 in the afternoon. And that's the other thing I realized is that if I'm done with work by 2:00 or 3:00 in the afternoon, then I'm done with work when my kids get home from school.
Yeah.
And then I can sit down and I can say, okay, oldest kid.
Yeah.
Pull out your backpack. We're going to open up Canvas is what they use at their school. We're going to open up Canvas. We're going to look over what homework you've got. We're going to get it done. Okay. Next oldest kid. Open up Canvas, look through homework. We're going to get it done. Next oldest kid, homework done. Next oldest kid, homework done. All right. Get your chores done. Look, it's only 4:00. Let's go do something fun. All right. Let's go ride bikes. Let's go play, Let's take you over to one of your friends' houses, whatever, right?
Yeah, 100%. It is magical, the power of boundaries, of time blocks and boundaries, right? Just knowing, like, I don't work beyond 2 p.m. anymore because that's what allows me to become so freaking focused and intense during my focus blocks, because that boundary, I need that boundary to bring my most intense work during the work hours.
Yeah.
If I don't have those boundaries, I will always fuck around, right?
Yeah.
So I need that boundary of 2 p.m.
Well, the other part of it is some of the people that I need to be contacting for the podcasts, they're not available until after 5 or 6 in the evening. And so if I get that 2 to 5 or 6 in the evening block, and then I have to, like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, like 1 or 2 days a week, it's like, hey, I'm going to open up this hour just for you. Just do it, then I can do that because I got the time in where I wanted it.
Yeah.
But then it's just, hey, this is focused, but it's focused for this person. And when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
And I realized that was what I wanted last week when we were talking. I was like, that's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I completely sidelined this, but that's why. That's where that's what I'm working for.
I love it. Like, if you think about it, most people confuse time in front of screen with work.
Yeah.
And that's such a bad psychology. It doesn't actually make any sense whatsoever, but that's what people live with. Like, your work can actually be happening while you're out running or hiking because you have freedom to think. Your brain is like completely detached. And that's when I actually get the best ideas. And I'm sure, John, you would agree with that because you get your work done around the same time, 3, 4 p.m., right? And that's it. Like, after that, your brain is clear to think on a much more bigger scale, much more strategic scale. And it's all subconscious. You're not really consciously trying to force it. It's just coming. Ideas are coming to you that never happen when you're in front of your freaking computer going social media, Slack, email, work, email, social media, all that crap. So it's broken in many ways. So hopefully this can fix it.
Well, I've been reading Who Not How.
I love that book.
And that's the other piece of it, is getting all of that other stuff onto somebody else's plate so that I don't have to worry about it, and then being focused around the stuff that I do have to worry about. And that's what we're talking about. So the first part is, moving all of that stuff so that it's getting done without my direct interference. And then the rest of it is, being focused and getting it done in a regimented way so that I can have the life I want. And they talk to, the first one's to freedom of time. I think the next one's freedom of money, and then freedom, and it's all about that freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a great book. I don't know if all of you guys have read it. Rocket Fuel by Gina Whitman.
Yeah.
Right?
I haven't read it, but I heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a difference between the visionary and the integrator, as in some operations person and the visionary. Most of us entrepreneurs, we're the visionaries. We've got the big picture ideas. We got the ambitions. We are going to take risks.
That's definitely me.
Yeah. But then there's the operation side of things, the day-to-day nuts and bolts, making sure shit doesn't, fall through the cracks and all that stuff, like dotting the I's and crossing the T's and getting stuff done that you don't necessarily enjoy doing as a visionary. that's where you need an integrator. You need an operator to fit that role. So you can play in your zone of genius, which is being the visionary, and the integrator can take care of everything else for you. And that's so important to get like the root. I think if you can find an integrator who can do these things and you can teach them, who's relatively smart and who you can teach a lot of these things, and you can only focus on what's your zone of genius, your life like transforms and your business transforms. And the sooner you can find that person, even if it's training wheels, you find someone who's not perfect, but it's a good start to get them to start handing off, to give them stuff that they're relatively smart enough to figure out. You will create so much more time for higher leverage activities like marketing and sales and product development and all the other stuff that's way more important than fulfillment and like the shit that happened, like how you lost what's the name? Developer media. You lost developer media because you're not an operator. You're a bad operator. And it's not like you're a bad operator. Even I'm a bad operator in the sense I'm not as good as an operator.
I'm a bad operator.
Yeah, I'm not. You're a bad operator. If that was a song, that's right there. A bad operator. Not a smooth operator, not for sure. So you are a bad operator. I'm a bad operator, but I know that I'm a bad operator. So I want someone who actually runs operations for me, because otherwise this kind of stuff falls through the crack all the time, right? You lost developer media because you didn't have an operator. You were trying to be the operator and you're not an operator. You're a bad operator.
Yep.
So that's why that book is so crucial and so good, because it gives you a new perspective on what you should be doing. Because as entrepreneurs, it's easy to beat ourselves up thinking that, oh man, I need to be the executive. I need to execute on all these projects and all these details and all these nuances and all this stuff. No, you're just going to suck at it because you're the visionary. You're just like the big picture. You're thinking big projects. You're not going to do the nuts and bolts reality. Very few people have both. I feel like John might be one of those who can actually do both. John's like more execution, like John is a visionary and an execution guy. But very few people actually have both of that in their DNA. And it's a core, it's like a fundamental strength thing. You can't just go from being not organized to become organized. That's like trying to use your willpower to do something that you're not good at. You're just going to keep failing at it and you're going to keep hurting yourself. So finding operations person, man, that's really powerful for visionaries. And I think anyone who gets to six figures, they should start looking for an operations person and start paying them, even if it's part-time, 10 hours a week. Just get that operations person doing things that you just can't do it, man. Even, whatever that money is for you, for 10 hours a week to let them, and you need to pick someone who's super organized and super like on deadlines, like they get fulfillment out of fulfilling deadlines and timelines and staying on track. Like my operations manager, she will literally message me saying, hey, where is the video? You haven't recorded a video yet, and I have to release a video on Monday. So what's going on? So now I am basically like, she gives me tasks rather than the other way around. Now things have changed because she's figured out like, I am the crazy man who's going to come up with great ideas, but then I also have limitations in terms of following through on the timelines and deadlines. That's just not me. So she keeps the deadlines, she keeps the timelines, and that means she tasks me with stuff. And it's a beautiful thing, man. Like one time I was talking to my editor, audio video guy, Mike, and I gave him some video. I'm like, hey man, I need this today. Like, can you please get it done today? And Mike's like, yeah, but right now I'm working on Amita's stuff. Once that is done, then I will get to your stuff. So he basically told me that my stuff is second in priority compared to what my operations manager has given him.
Right.
And that was like funny, but also very telling of what she can do compared to what I am doing.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I keep telling Michaela because I basically said, look, this is what I need, because I've explained to her this role, right? And I said, look, I need somebody who can do this. I don't know if that's you. If it's not you, you can tell me and I'll find somebody else and you can, work for them. Or it can be you, right? And she's like, well, I don't know if it's me, but I'd like to try. And I said, okay, well, I'll train you. But if it's not you, it's not personal, right? And so, yeah. And so I've just been giving your tests and I'm like, look, I cannot be the bottleneck on this stuff, right? You have to go do it. And if I am the bottleneck, you have to get on my case, yell at me, bug me, whatever, right? Annoy me, right? So you can get it done.
How's that going? She's been with you for a few months now. Is she on task every time in terms of the deadline, the timeline?
Yeah, she does really, really well. She's still a little bit timid about getting after me.
Which is fine. You can train that. Yeah, you can train that.
But anything else, like if it's down to anything else that she has to do, or she has to reach out to anybody else, she's on top of it.
Is it always done on time?
Yeah. Okay. The only thing that she could be a little bit better at is really just being assertive with other people.
Yeah. Give her the StrengthsFinder test, StrengthsFinder 2.0. Ask her to take that test.
Is that free?
No, it's $20, but it is worth every penny because you'll get to know so much about that person. Right. And there's no perfect answer. There's no perfect strength. Everyone has their own strengths. We just need to find out what they are for that person. So you will know precisely if she's good for the role or not. It's a really good test.
Gallup store. It says Clifton strengths 334.
Yep.
Okay. Looks like it's $50.
It might still be worth it, man, because you will know for sure.
Yeah, that's fine. I should take it too, probably. Yeah.
Don't worry, it won't say that your strength is you're disorganized. It doesn't actually consider that as a strength.
I don't know. I'm so disorganized that it's probably a superpower.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
No, it's fine. But if I know what my superpowers are and I know what hers are, then we can work, we can focus on those and make them work together.
Well, the good thing, the way you would think about it is first, you know your superpowers. So you should carve out time for your superpower time. And second, you need to know her superpowers. So you know, is she good to fill in the shit that you don't like doing? Because if she doesn't have those superpowers that you need someone else. Unfortunately, right? You need someone with deadlines and timelines and execution minded.
Right.
Not so much who's a visionary and like in the sky, because that's already you.
No, she's definitely much more of an executor than I am.
Yeah.
Because I hand her off stuff and she gets it done. I usually give her a deadline and she gets it done way before then.
Yeah.
She just gets in and gets it done.
One of the ways you also want to start thinking about with your operations manager is think beyond tasks and start thinking responsibilities. So stop thinking tasks, start thinking responsibility for your employees. Because for as long as you give them tasks, they're always looking at you to give them the next task. But if you just give them the responsibility of like, this is your area,
right?
Then they are going to be much more likely to get shit done than if you just are giving them tasks all the time.
No, that makes total sense. I need to figure out how to think through that because some of the other people that I've had work for me, like Mandy and Michelle, they kind of naturally just kind of fell into that, right? They would take on some of the responsibilities. And Michaela is a little less experienced and a little younger, and so she tends not to do that. And so I need to more explicitly hand her those responsibilities, I think. I think she's capable of picking them up and running with them. But I think I need to teach her how to grab them and just go after them, I think.
You can give them one at a time. You can make her responsible for a small piece and see how she handles it. And then make her responsible for even bigger piece. But task-based thinking only keeps you stuck.
Yes, fair. Okay.
So transition everyone into responsible, not everyone, but as much as possible to hire people.
So I can say you're responsible for this area, And I can
You
still
can
tell her
literally-
I'm concerned about these specific things within that area, but
You can say you're responsible for the podcast episode being published on this day every week or every month. Like this is your calendar to maintain. Do whatever
Right.
you need. The podcast should go out, the blog post should get published, and email should go out if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Now that's her responsibility. You are free. If she needs anything from you, she can be like, hey, Chuck, I need this from you to make it happen. And she's going to shake
Right.
you up. You're going to get it done. But your brain has now more brain cells as a result of just not having to think about your
I've
podcast
basically
or
done
not
that to her already.
Right. That's good. So yeah, things like that, you start giving more and more responsibility to her. So you are like, okay, I don't have to fuck around with that shit. She can, her job, right? My operations manager, she will literally, message me like 5 times if the video is not ready and has to go out tomorrow. She's like, can you please do it? Can you? Because it's her, like she owns the video calendar, she owns the podcast calendar. That's her thing. I'm out of it.
Right.
I'm just
Sounds
the talent, right? I'm just the talent. She is the fulfill, like she's the operator of the talent.
Right.
So
Yep. I like it. I'm going to blame you.
what?
I'm going to be like, okay, you're now in charge of this area and this area.
It's going to change your life because you're going to have more space to think.
Yeah, absolutely.
More white space to think. That's what.
But yeah, for the most part, she that is already her area of responsibility, right? And she just tells me what she needs. I basically just need to empower her and just say, hey, look, you need to feel empowered to bother people as early as as you need to in order to get the information, and as many times as you need to, and in whatever way you need to, right?
Yeah. You have to almost think of the integrator role as crucial to your long-term well-being as an entrepreneur and your business. And you have to groom that role. You have to keep making investment into that role, into that person, because that person will pay off long-term dividends if that is the right person for your business.
Yep. No, that makes total sense.
So it's like one of the things you also like when I think about this, because it's easy to think, okay, I'm just gonna give it to her and she's gonna figure it out all the way and that's it. I don't want to be bothered. That's not the point. The point is to just to know that what her limits are and how much you need to train her to get there. So let her play to her strengths while you give her all the other trainings that she needs, all the other time and support she needs, so that she can shine in that role rather than be like, okay, now I'm paying you, it's your thing, I'm out of it. Because I've seen that happen, and that's usually a disaster zone too, because then you're too hands off too early.
Right.
It's a fine balance. You hand off only when you start seeing the results. You're like, okay, she's got that talent, I will give it to her and get out of her hair.
Right.
It's like that E-Myth, right? The entrepreneur versus the technician versus the manager. And you're hiring basically the manager role because you know you're not good at it.
I very much know that.
And I would submit that over 80% to 90% of entrepreneurs out there are that. They're not good managers. They're not good operators. They're not good integrators. They're mostly visionaries. They mostly have a vision and they go crazy trying to make that vision happen. And they'll create problem after problem for themselves if they just try to become the manager as well.
Yep.
Very few people have all those 3 talents, the entrepreneur and the manager and the technician.
Right.
And it's not even worth it to try and be all of it. It's so much easier to just be, just play in the lane that's your best lane.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. So John, I'm kind of
Hmm.
curious with Simple Program. I'm going to totally change subject. With
Yeah.
Simple Programmer, you had that guy that was interested in buying it. How's that going?
I sold it to him for $10 million. No,
Cool.
just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Now he ended up passing because he was busy with other stuff. And yeah, so I don't know. I talked to a guy. There's a company, there's a few of the brokers. One of them about selling it, and I could sell it for a lot more than what I was actually offering him. So it looks like I could probably get like 400,000 or 500,000 for it based on the
Nice.
current revenue. Now, if I put a little work in for a year or so, which maybe it's not even worth selling. It's kind of weird because it's like if I put a little bit of work into it and I got the revenue back up, with a few sponsors and things like that, I could sell it for $1 million instead. So
Right.
or I could just sit on it and really I do nothing. I do absolutely nothing on Simple Programmer. Except I make one YouTube video a week, which I don't even really have to do. And I still make around $10,000 a month profit in the company. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, would you sell an asset that makes you that money anyway? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just like a logical, like just a get it off my chest type of thing, and then get the money before the revenue goes down further. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm thinking about it. I've got my copywriter guy, him working on still a simple funnel for Simple Programmer so I figure if I put him on it, then if we can get a product that we're selling that we're doing like 5-10K a month of revenue on that, then it's probably worth it. And I've still got some other things. I've got 2 authors under contract or 3 authors under contract that are creating new books that we're going to publish. So there's still the possibility of turning it more into a publishing company. So I don't know. What I really need, what would really be great is if I just hired someone at a very like cheap rate that was willing to work full-time on Simple Programmer as sort of the CEO, who had some marketing experience, who like understood programming, who could really like I could meet with them once a week and be like, okay, this is kind of my overall vision of like, this is how you could, like, if I were going to rebuild the company and make it better, this is what I would do. And then give them that. And then they run with it. And then they have some kind of, like if you can do this and implement this, then I'm going to give you some kind of either profit sharing or some ownership of the company. Probably I would do a profit sharing or something like that, or I'll raise your salary up to, this is a potential, plus you get some mentorship. So if I could find someone that was qualified that could do that, that would probably be the best way to handle the whole thing.
Gotcha.
But
You already have that person on your email list. Just create a form, literally create a Google form with all the things you just said.
Yeah.
With like the 5 questions and ask them to submit a video explaining why they would do it and why they would be a good person and so on and so forth. And literally say, I'm hiring a CEO for Simple Programmer. Are you interested? Dude, you already have those people. Because that's what I did. Like I sent out an application like, hey, I'm hiring people for Focus Blocks guides, right? And the best people were all on my list. They were all my customers, existing customers, past customers. All of them were the best people. They were like perfectly aligned for that role. Yeah. And I 100% believe that your list already has multiple people who qualify for that, would be willing to work with you to get mentorship, to get guidance, to become entrepreneurs maybe in the future, or would be willing to work because they could get, ownership stake, or because they want profit share, like so many different incentives.
Yeah.
Definitely that person is on your list.
That's a good point. Yeah, I just made a note to send out an email and see, because if I could find someone that could do all that stuff, because if I were focusing completely on Simple Programmer, I could double or triple the revenue in a year. But it's just,
just the simple act. Hey, do you want to be mentored by me for the next 24 months so that you can go out and do your own business, maybe if you want to, but get mentored by me to run a real business? People will fucking line up for that, just for that shit. I kid you not. on
The only
Bulldog
problem-
Mindset.
yeah.
And yeah,
The only problem is they need to have a base level of skills.
right.
You know what
So
I mean?
you will qualify them, right? You will ask all the questions.
Yeah.
You ask them, what have you done? And only out of that will you pick the perfect candidate. You can say, you need to have this, and this for you to apply. And if you want to get to the next level, then this is a good place for you.
Yeah,
You'll get a lot of applications, so you'll get really good candidates out there.
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it'll also be better once I finally I'm able to stop paying Josh. It's
Oh,
almost
you're still buying him out.
I'm still making payments. But it's almost done. I think I only have trying to think how many more payments I have left. I think it's till the end of this year or something like that. So
Josh is the big monkey on your back.
Then Josh will have to get a real job. No.
So funny, man.
Yeah.
Josh,
It'll be so good to have $6,600 more a month, though.
oh my God. Then you have real, you can get out of all the craziness and get into, then you can really spend time working with your CEO and feeling like, okay, I'm paying the CEO, not necessarily paying Josh. You still have what, 3 more months of payments, Josh?
I'm trying to look it up to see what the where's the payment activity? Automatic payments. Let's see. I don't know how to see. Hopefully I have it set as an end date. ACH payments. Oh, repeating ACH payments. That's it. Okay. 10 payments left. Damn it. Yeah.
End of the year. More.
Yeah.
You're into next year a little bit, but
yeah.
Oh my God.
That's all right. It'll eventually be done. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's the best thing. The other thing I'm thinking about too is I really need to do is just I'm going to put a survey on Bulldog Mindset. I'm going to be like, only one of these things is staying: stoic philosophy, dating and relationship advice, fitness, finance, and business. All right. And then have people vote. And then the main YouTube channel for Bulldog Mindset is only going to have that thing, I think. And then I'm going to create a new channel for the other things.
So,
you know what I mean?
So here's what I'm thinking will happen. People will vote for dating, but that might be not the thing that you want to take long term. So in some ways, you probably have to consider what you really want to do long term.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to stop doing all three of those things. I'm just realizing that with the YouTube algorithm, I need to have the videos that come out on the channel always be the thing that people are expecting and watch. And so I want to see who's already subscribed and active on the channel, what they want, what they're subscribed for, right? And then I'll move the other stuff to a different channel or to different channels. I'll probably split it up into two other channels. This way, each channel has its focused thing. Because I'm watching on YouTube, all of my competition surpass me, who started like a year ago, and it's quite a pain in the ass. And some of these guys, their content's not even good at all. But the thing is, they're focused on it, and that's the thing that screwed me up. And Simple Programmer grew like crazy when that was the channel initially, because it was focused, right? So the primary thing is I'm just trying to work against the YouTube algorithm, which is never going to work. And so I have to work with the algorithm. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. So.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we keep realizing that focus is our number one requirement and our number one enemy for our crazy visionary minds, right? Our crazy visionary minds want to do other things. Well, we just need to come back to be like, okay, let's stay in this lane.
And here's a really good example of it too. There's this guy on TikTok. this dude, he gets like millions of views on every one of his TikToks, right? And here's what he does. His whole TikTok account is this. It's like someone has like a video where they're like, and then they're like, oh, can't get the top off of my coffee cup. And then they do some kind of stupid thing to get it off. They like use some scissors to cut through the bottom of it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just will do a video where he's like, and that's it, right? And he gets millions of views. You know, someone opened a banana like a weird way, and he just like peels the banana and then puts it down, doesn't say a word, right? And he's getting millions of views. And he just repeated that format over and over and over again, right? Totally, completely built in entire. I mean, he's making, you know, probably tens of $1,000s a month just off of TikTok monetization just from that. But the key is that he just picked one thing. It was simple and stupid, but he just picked one thing and he just repeated it. So when people subscribe to his channel, they know exactly what they're going to get. And that's what they're subscribed for. And he delivers it every single fucking time. That's like the thing to, you know, and there's a couple of them. I've been identifying these things as I see them, and I see people doing this exact thing, and they have high levels of success. Is this because because the social media algorithms are based on engagement and percentage of subscriber engagement, and you know, and it's all about just creating something that when people subscribe to you, they're getting exactly what they subscribe for, the same exact thing. So
makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see what your group says. But what is your gut? Like, what does your gut say? What would you rather be focusing on? Because that's where I think I would put my money on, not so much the group's money, or not so much what the group thinks.
Well, I mean, my focus with Bulldog Mindset is becoming a better man, right? Like developing yourself as a man. That's what the focus is. And so, yeah, I mean, but the problem is that I've got it in these different areas, and so that's why it kind of like the Bulldog Mindset membership is kind of the unit, needs to be the unification point of all these things. Whereas I have these leads, like this is how I draw people in, is like, oh, you're interested in this, right? Because I know that people that are interested in self-improvement are interested in all areas of self-improvement, which is something you've discovered with your business as well. It's right. But the problem is that you have to cater specifically to the place that they're starting at, where they're interested now, because people's interests change over time. And they, as you get into self-development and personal development, like you branch out into other areas, but you usually are come into this realm looking for a specific solution to a specific problem you have. I'm trying to gain muscle. I'm trying to lose fat. I'm trying to get laid, right? I'm trying to fix my relationship problem. I'm trying to buy some real estate, right? Whatever that problem is, I'm trying to build a business. I'm trying to get out of debt. Whatever that problem is, that brings people in to the personal development space, but then they, branch out to the other areas of it. So the problem is right now, me being all over the place, it's too many things. It's too overwhelming. It's not what people are signing up for. Whereas they can come into a central place where they have all those things, and that's that's the key. So
yeah. So the challenge party is that, like, who you're kind of like, you're Tony Robbins in some ways. You want to be Tony Robbins, right?
Right.
The question is, did Tony
Tony didn't compete with the YouTube algorithm.
I know, but he ran ads. He ran ads like a maniac. He was the late night infomercial joke for a long time before he became real big deal, right?
Right. I mean, his big thing was personal power, right? So he was selling a course on personal power, right? Which I don't know, what's the pitch for personal power, right? Having more sovereignty over your life. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the specific problems he's addressing. I guess we could look up like old Tony Robbins commercials.
Yeah.
But it's also a different world now, full of much more distraction. There's an infomercial for.
Yeah, but still,
What?
it's like, I think
Sorry.
he went like, no matter how the world evolves, the fundamentals of marketing don't really change as much, right?
Right.
So the fundamentals of going deep are always going to be there. Going deep on the markets and finding that perfect audience that wants your product and selling to them like crazy. Whichever angle it is. He sold personal power. He sold his 10 tape audio set or whatever it was, 10 CD set. And that's what made him ultra famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I
guess
mean,
we should.
if you choose to be Tony Robbins, then there is no, I mean, you basically are like, what do you think of the other people in your niche? Like maybe Elliot Hulse and all these guys, are they not doing the same thing as you in some ways, in some capacity?
I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I mean, let me look up. I mean, Elliot Hulse is really. I mean, he's doing a lot of videos. Let me see what his latest video titles are: "Effeminate Men Hate Hard Work," "Stop Giving Women What They Want," "Fastest Path to Your Goals," "Beware the New World Order," "How to Plan Your Day," "What to Do When Women Complain." I mean, he's basically doing what I'm doing, right? Women show appreciation through submission, effortlessly evolve into a better man,
So
in a
he's
battle
like,
against bad thoughts.
he's getting 5% views more or less of his subscribers. 800,000 subscribers, 40,000 views a week later, right?
Yeah.
Compare this, but his like views have been tapering off over the last 30 days for some reason. I don't know why.
No, it looks like
But
they're
if I-
increasing.
Huh?
His views are increasing.
No, his views are going down dramatically over the
Oh,
last
well, I don't
30
know.
days. Yeah, are you looking at? I'm looking at vidIQ chart stats.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm just looking at the videos here and seeing what.
Yeah, now I'm looking at the overall. He's hurting right now. He went down from 50,000 views on the average down to like 20,000 views on the daily average right now. So
Okay.
in a month, so something is going on. I'm sure he's already thinking about it. But yeah, he's basically doing exactly what you're doing. But the question is, he's been around for way long and he's still at 814,000 subscribers, and compare that to, what's his name? Stephen Graham. He's still staying on the investment niche. And where is he today? 3.1 million subscribers. He's slowed down too, huh?
Yeah.
$3.1 million, $3.1 million, but he's always investment. He's never changed that shit.
I haven't seen one of his videos recommended to me in a long, long time.
Agree. But he's getting like hundreds of thousands, like 300,000. He's getting like 10%, 20% views on his videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's good. Like he's still getting traction through the algorithm.
Here's, if you look up, remember the Fresh and Fit I was telling you about? Man, these guys fucking exploded. Now there's reasons for it. I mean, they have a live studio, right? And they bring on 6 or 7 girls now on every single stream that they do, and a bunch of celebrities. Like, they're gonna blow up. They're gonna go mainstream. They're gonna be like big time mainstream. They're blowing up a huge amount, and they deserve it. I mean, they put in the work. They put in the, they have the the camera, the equipment, the studio, like they put in all invested into their production and everything. But
these guys are geniuses. They just get hot girls in there and boom.
Yeah.
You got inbuilt marketing. Seriously, I'm just looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Basically everyone has an angle that's working. Like if you look at their setup, it's so freaking good. There's like these dudes surrounded by girls, like every man wants to beat them right now, and that's why they watch it. They're not watching for their content. They just want to be like those guys.
Right.
To be
exactly.
They just want to be around women just like these guys are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder how my interview did on there compared to like I need to get back on there, I guess, because they're now the views are way higher when it's from when I got on there, but
It's
yeah,
so
I don't
good,
know.
man.
Yeah, I gotta
These guys are just like going directly for the jugular with these, with the women, scanty, like very well dressed women.
Well, they're in Miami. They're basically like looking for
Club.
Instagram models and stuff, and they're recruiting them to jump on the podcast.
The club women to come do this with them. Yeah. And it's great. This is great. This is all eye candy is what people are coming here for, and to become people are just coming from that, and they want to now associate with these guys because they associate with all the hot women.
Yeah,
it's really that retarded. The man's mammalian brain is that stupid.
But check this out. So if you go to DAP University, that's my coaching clients. Like I figured out cracking the code on his channel which was, I was like, dude, do a live stream every single morning and do the news on the markets. And that is fucking killing it. He's blowing up like insane amount. I mean, he just passed me in subscribers and he'll be at 1 million subscribers in a year.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude is doing 200K a month right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But good stuff. He's staying in his lane massively.
Exactly. But see, that's why that's the key, right? That's the key is it's having a very specific focus and staying in because it has nothing to do with the quality of the content. It has nothing to do with it has everything to do with the way you have to make your content around what the YouTube algorithm does. And the YouTube algorithm is like a Netflix algorithm, except it's even smarter. It says, what does this person like? Right. And then it figures out what is your video about. And then it says, does this person like this thing that this video is about? And then it matches them up. And then the more that it has a more consistent match, and it's like, oh yeah, people definitely like this, the more it exposes it to people that have that interest. So you have to have your videos and your channel have a very, very quantifiable, this is what it's about, so that it can match the people accurately. Because if it mismatches them, then you get a low engagement and a low click-through rate. And then they're like, yeah, that video's not so good. So that's the key. And if you look at all the channels that are successful, you'll find that common thread there.
So the reason why do you think Elliot Hulse is successful anymore compared to some of the other new guys that are coming out? The reason why I'm asking is because he's got he's basically exactly like you in many ways. And it's not clear if that is a formula for success anymore, because I'm not sure if he's actually experiencing positive growth or negative growth.
I don't think he's really I think he's more stagnant, just like I am. And the thing about Elliot Hulse, he's not a good example, looking at his views, because he has a very, very high celebrity status, right? So he's got sort of a cultish following. And so he's got a bunch of people that at least 20,000-30,000 people that are going to watch his videos no matter what, just because of who he is. I've got maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people that will watch my videos no matter what. Right. So, but that's not how you grow. That's the thing. So another one to look at is Noah Kagan, right? He's been focusing on his YouTube and cracking that, right? He's got some massive growth here as he cracked this.
He might have a good growth channel, but I find his content more and more stupid compared to how good it used to be.
His latest stuff is good. I don't know when the last time you watched his channel is, but he's got.
Earlier he was just he was talking about random ass people, YouTubers and all that stuff, and just talking about, oh, that's how he's making money and that's how he's making money. That's cool. But I actually like Noah for Noah when he was able to drop real knowledge on entrepreneurship. Now it's more of catchy
Yeah.
YouTube stuff, which is possibly good. I guess he's using that, and I don't even know what he's trying to do to monetize this whole thing other than just grow a YouTube channel. But I used to like his old stuff where he was like really like there was some good stuff that actually made me excited about watch this shit. Now it's like very, what I would say, mainstream clickbaity. How to make money on Airbnb, how to make money on YouTube, how to make money on podcasts, how to make money on, like, dude, yeah. Which I guess, to the point of like, for his channel, it's working. So why not?
Right.
Like, that's his thing. And if that's what he wants to do, I'll go for it, man.
Yeah. But I mean, the point is that he's got a singular focus on his, like, it's and a repeatable format, right? That's consistently that's consistent basically. So
Well, I mean, is it really though? I don't get it. I don't really see the formula here. There is a video how productivity YouTubers spend their free time, how Eric turned $20,000 debt into 1 million YouTube subscribers, how I met Bill Gates, how we saved my $70 million, asking female entrepreneurs how they make money. What do you think? What's the theme here?
It's sort of this, like, it's a curiosity, like, shock effect story. He's Mr. Beast of entrepreneurship. He's basically emulating Mr. Beast, but then turning it to an entrepreneurship style. So that's it. All of the videos followed that format, that like, that you're going to get some kind of like Mr. Beast, like, crazy story type of video, and his titles reflect that too. So
what's he
again,
trying to do? Like, why is he like, what's his end goal here? I don't really get it. Like, what is he trying to do?
He wants, I forget, he said what it was. I can't remember what it is now, but he had a specific goal that he was going for.
No, okay, numbers goal is different. I'm saying, how does this fit into his grand scheme of business and stuff? Because the guy already has a pretty legit business with AppSumo, which is fucking bonkers now.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're
not
worth.
sure.
I'm sure they're worth probably $100 million at this point, if not close to that. So it's not clear what the fuck he's trying to do.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think the AppSumo was worth quite that much, because I talked to him when I talked to him a couple months ago, and we were talking about like finances and net worth and investing, and I don't think it's quite worth that much. But
he says how we saved my $70 million business. That was 3 weeks ago. I'm assuming $70 million business he's talking about is AppSumo. Maybe not.
I'm not entirely sure. Or
I don't know.
Okay,
He's got a couple of other.
Oh, actually, here it is. Here's the description. He says, in 2010, I started AppSumo as a small project. Fast forward to today, we have 75 teammates and we're making $70 million in revenue.
Oh, wow. Okay. Then,
but I almost gave up on this business in 2014. Here's the story. $70 million in revenue, like that.
Yeah, that easily
even if you
aligns
don't care about the real revenue, because most of it is going back to the vendors, the list is so freaking, that customer list is like gold. You could sell that to freaking.
When you're at that level of revenue, you're at like 10 times EBIT.
Multiple, yeah.
Yeah, you're at a 10x. So
yeah, maybe even revenue multiples come into play at this stage for his kind of business. Like massive revenue, like he could, like it's worth 100 million for sure now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So
I guess we should probably wrap this up here.
Yeah,
I don't have a whole lot of input on the YouTube stuff. I mean, it's fascinating to me, but yeah.
All right, let's do our thoughts then.
Even in his call outs, all he is doing is building his email list, join my Facebook community on OK.org, and buy software on AppSumo. So I guess he's trying to grow AppSumo. That's his new growth hack.
Yeah.
$70 million. God dang it. That's some good business. It's good. It's good. Now I need to go back and listen to some of his old interviews because there was some good stuff in those interviews back in the day.
Focus Blocks is going to be an $80 million business. So
I wouldn't be surprised. If I can sell properly and execute properly, it could be a good business. Who knows what the numbers will be and if it'll get there or not. But it's still, it's a lot of, if you get the right team members, right plans. Who knows, man? Like business is such a game. So, and that's probably my thought for the day to what Chuck is saying. Focus Blocks, could it be an $80 million business? Could it be a $100 million business? I have no idea today. But one thing I know is that I'm doing it because I love seeing people's lives changed as a result of coming into Focus Blocks. Like it's just so powerful. Like every day I walk in there and I see people transform their lives as a relationship of working so focused and then able to do, better work and enjoy life. So who knows what money comes out of this in the long term, other than, money that I make as a result of growing the business. I don't know. And I don't really care as much as the feeling I get when I get my customers saying, oh man, I love it. It's so good. It's helping me. So as long as an entrepreneur, I can stay on that journey, I think I'll be okay of making sure that my customers are taken care of.
Yep. All right. My thought is there are two parts to this whole process. And one is moving this stuff off your plate, getting the right who in place. And then the other part of it is, being focused on the things and getting the work done in the right way at the right time. And so I think a lot of times we focus on just one piece or the other piece, right? And it's dual purpose, right? So it's the focus blocks and the who, not how. And we talked about that earlier, but I really think it's both. And if you're just doing one without the other, then you're probably in for a world of hurt because you're gonna either do your focus blocks doing the wrong stuff, or you're gonna spend a whole bunch of time spinning your wheels, getting distracted on stuff that you shouldn't be spending your time on, even if you have a lot of the who's figured out, right? You're going to be inefficient with your time even though you're working on the right stuff generally. So you have to have both.
Mine is that businesses are built on setting an expectation and then meeting that expectation. And that's the simple of it. You just need to meet the expectation of your customer, your audience, your client, whatever it is. And you have to set that expectation. The more clear the offering is, the more clear the expectation, and the better, because then people know what they're getting. That's why, like I was saying, with focus blocks seems like such a great idea, because it's very, very clear. It's like, this is exactly what you're getting. And it's very easy to meet that expectation because it's very clear. Whereas all of the other kind of stuff we're doing, selling courses, selling products, selling, it's a lot more fuzzy. There's no exact expectation. There's not you can't make any guarantees about any of that stuff. With something like with the focus blocks, you can make a guarantee. You can guarantee that you're going to get an hour of focus. Like, this is exactly what you're going to get. And so I think that's super important, is to set a very clear expectation.
Yeah, love it.
John's going to start Simple Businessman.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you next week.